like a UX designer in 5 steps. UX design isn't just about fancy tools, it's about how you think. And so, if you embrace the thinking patterns of a UX designer, the road to becoming a professional becomes so much quicker, so much easier, and you can start thinking like a pro today in these 5 simple steps. So let's just get started. Number 1, ask why a lot. Every element on your design should have a reason for existence. If you can't explain why something is there, it's probably not required to be there in the first place. And at some point you'll realize curiosity is your number 1 design tool, because if you cram too many things on the same page without any purpose, or you just manage to somehow overwhelm the users, even if all of your buttons and choices and options and elements had a use case, it's just going to be bad user experience, and that's not what we want. If you're having too many things on the same screen, on the same page, it's often better to group them in tabs and bars and sections and navigations and columns. Anything you can do to keep the first impressions, to keep all of your screens neat and clean, and asking why a lot for all of the different elements that you'd want there to be on the screen, and every single element that shouldn't be on the screen needs to be removed as quickly as possible. Number 2, see through the user's eyes. Pretend you're visiting the product for the first time with zero context. Notice where you hesitate, get lost, or feel unsure, and this is going to be a really good indicator of how your user is going to feel like when they start using your app, because great UX starts with empathy and not wireframes. Any user experience can be heavily over-engineered, and yet when people walk in and it feels clunky, it probably is still a bad user experience. So seeing through the user's eyes has to become a second language, has to start today if you're aiming for great UX design expertise. Number 3, think in journey, not in screens. I'm going to repeat that again because it was so profound. Think in journey, not in screens. Don't design isolated pages, design the path the users take from start to finish. Every screen should naturally lead to the next step, to the next conclusion, because when you map the flow before you start moving pixels, the user journey is simpler, the user experience is smoother, and then that's just 80% of UX design out of the way immediately. User journeys are so important, because if you get the wrong journey going, if you have things scattered all over pages, if you don't have the right navigations, the right menus, the right things residing in the right places at the right time, it's a horrible user journey. And if your user journey is horrible, no amount of pretty UI is going to rescue you out of that hole. Number 4, love problems, not just solutions. Jumping into visuals without clearly thinking about what the user journey is going to look like, without thinking about what the user experience is going to look like, is the perfect recipe for a messy UX design. The more clearly you understand the challenge, the better your ideas will be. The more clearly you've thought through the problem of the entire navigation, the better the user experience will be. A well-framed question about how your product works and the right answer is half your design. When you know where the user journey is going, that's the best way to be a UX designer. And so when you love problems and not just solutions, you can quickly take a question, figure out how it works, frame things well so they function well instead of just looking good. And that's a huge part of UX design thinking. Number 5, test like you're wrong. Your first design will almost never be perfect, and that's fine. Testing early helps you catch small issues before they go into productions becoming big ones. Something that takes 5 seconds for you to fix today will, when published, compound in the hands of all of the other users, and it'll probably waste 500 collective hours of humans on the world, and that's not the impact we're kind of trying to have here. Fixing small issues in your own hands, testing them like you're wrong, testing them like you're the user, is the best way to stop small problems from becoming even bigger problems in the long run. Feedback is a fuel and not failure. So you kind of have to take each feedback you get from yourself, from someone else, as fuel to get your UX looking even better, as opposed to failure or a personal remark or something to be hurt by. So I think that is the top 5 tips to get started thinking like a UX designer. These have helped me so much along the way, and I hope they help you too. Until then, keep on watching, keep on designing, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.